That radio chick Cheryl Lee here. Welcome to the Still Rocking It podcast, where we'll have music, news, reviews and interviews with some of our favourite Australian musicians and artists.
Today we speak to a wonderful rock chick, Rose Carleo. With roots deep in Australia's rich rock heritage, Rose Carleo Band has long been known for its powerhouse sound, dynamic live shows and front woman Rose Carleo's commanding vocal presence. Blending blues-infused rock with heartfelt storytelling, the band has built a loyal following and a reputation for authenticity and energy. While their music typically leans into hard and heavy rock and roll, their new single, Daisy's Song, makes a bold and deeply personal shift in tone, one that shines a light on vulnerability, resilience and the power of human connection. Meet Rose, she's lovely.
To catch up on podcasts from other favourite artists, simply go to thatradiochick.com.au.
Welcome into the Zoom room today, Rose Carleo from the Rose Carleo Band. Thank you for joining us today, Rose.
Thank you for having me, Cheryl. It's great to be here, finally.
I hear you've just come back from a lovely stay at your in-laws in beautiful Tasmania.
I have, yes. I spent a few days in Hobart catching up with family. It's been amazing. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. I'm not sure if you've been there, but it's very stunning.
Lovely. You're back home now. Where's home?
Home is the Blue Mountains in New South Wales in Springwood.
Lovely. And the rest of the band, are they there as well?
My husband Mick and guitar player in Rose Carleo Band, we live in the Blue Mountains. The band Shady is closer to Sydney and Bill lives up the coast a little bit.
But you're all over that way-ish.
Yes.
Beautiful part of Australia. Alrighty, so we've got some exciting news to talk about a brand new song, but perhaps we could go backwards a little bit before we go forwards and ask a little bit about you, Rose. So when did you realise that music was your passion and music was your thing?
Yeah, when I was pretty young, when I was in sort of primary school, high school, I loved to, have a bit of a sing around the house and things like that. Mum loved country music. And I grew up listening to a lot of different music because of my siblings with different genres. But Mum loved country music and I had a love for it. I still have a love for it, the storytelling and everything in it. So one night, my mum took me to see a local band. She started a couple of country music clubs. A, I think she was just a big music lover. B, she loved that community. And I'm the same. I love the music community. So I'd done my homework that night. I was 13. I was allowed to go. The band actually called me up on stage to sing an old song. Not that I'd ever said, I want to get up on the stage, but it was more of they knew I loved to sing and loved to, watch and everything. So I looked across at the table at Mum and I said, no way am I getting up there. And I can still see her face. She looked at me across the table and she said, I dare you.
Oh, never dare a daughter.
Challenge accepted. So I got up on stage and sang the song and continued to harass all the local bands probably for the next 10 years. I was like a sponge, I think, just, taking it all in and watching the process and asking questions. I was 13 and then I had my first band when I was about 16 or 17.
Good on you, Mum. Getting you up there that first time. And you're right, the music community, music just brings everybody together, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does.
I hear that your mum took you to see one of my faves because, of course, being South Australian and my vintage, you've got to be a Cold Chisel fan.
Absolutely.
You were off to see Mossy with Mum.
So she passed when I was 19, unfortunately, but I think I was around about 18 and we both loved Cold Chisel. We both loved Ian Moss. Tucker's Daughter had just come out and it was on repeat. I'm surprised I didn't wear a hole in the vinyl. And so we went to a pub in Perth City. She was having a good week that week. She was in a fair bit of pain with a cancer. But anyway, she said, no, we're going to go. So we went to see Ian Moss. Great support band was on. So we sat through them and I said, I've just got to go to the toilet. So I went to the bathroom and came back. And then she was talking to the guys in the support band saying, oh, my daughter thinks you're great. My daughter's a musician. I was like, oh, my Lord, what have you done? So that was quite funny. So, yeah, had a bit of a chat with them. Yeah, Mossy came on and that was a really great memory to have with her and she really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh, bless you, Mum. You clearly got your love of music from her.
I did. I absolutely did, yeah.
And how many siblings have you got?
Well, I have a brother in Perth and I have two that have unfortunately passed away My sister last year and my other brother about 4 years ago.
Were you all musical, Rose, or are you the...
No, I'm the black sheep.
You're the talented one.
I'm the youngest. My siblings loved music and loved playing music. My sister actually had quite a natural singing voice, but never did anything with it, unfortunately. But it was just me that was the glutton for punishment and just and just kept going.
Was there ever a plan B, Rose, if like the music thing hadn't have panned out for you?
Not really.
No. This is big plan A, B, and C.
I think about that over the years. And I mean, look, I do a little bit of admin work and bits and pieces. And, I've done a certificate in event management. I love planning events, which is really it's gigs that I've been doing all these years. I don't think I ever thought there would be another plan, whether it be just playing local gigs for the rest of my life or moving across the country or whatever. It was just always music for me.
You are listening to Still Rocking It, the podcast with Cheryl Lee.
Let's have that Ian Moss song, shall we? That Rose and her beautiful mother would have heard when they went to see Mossy together, Tucker's daughter. And then we're back to find out how Rose met her rock star husband and all about a brand new song. Tell us the story. How did you and your hubby meet? Did you meet across the gig dance floor and guys meet and live happily ever after?
No.
Not a rock and roll love story.
Well, it kind of is. So I'm from Perth originally, and in the mid-90s, Mick's from Darwin but grew up in Tassie, and him and his wife had come over to live in Perth, and then we ended up in the same band. We were bandmates, so that was no problem. I was with my husband, he was with his wife. We shared, gigs together. They ended up going back to Tasmania to start their family. Fast forward to 2012, where we were back in touch. I saw a picture of this great guitar he had on. He just bought his Les Paul. I love guitars. And, you sort of hear of each other through the grapevine over the years. He'd bought a couple of my albums and previous albums and things. We just started chatting about guitars and about gigs and how we were both going. And I was living in New South Wales at that time. So I'd moved from Perth to Brisbane to Sydney. He was still in Hobart, and we just got chatting and things grew from there. We both happened to be single, and it just grew, and we did long distance for a little while. Yeah, and then Mick moved up here.
You play some original music, you play some covers.
Yep.
There's a new song, and it's called Daisy Song. It's a really poignant song. It's got a bit of a story behind it and a really good message, hasn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, it does. So back during COVID, one of Mick's mates, Darren, his name's Darren Booth, and his nickname is Daisy, hence the title, was going through a real hard time, poured his heart out to Mick on a page, and he was going through anxiety and depression and alcoholism and just not feeling great. So he sent these lyrics to Mick. It was more in a poem form. Mick sort of read them and went, wow, okay, and rewrote some and sort of repositioned them, wrote the music, and I was just like, what is this song? This is amazing. And then I helped him. We wrote the melody together, demoed it up, and then just let it sit for a little bit. It sort of cured, I guess. Sometimes songs need to breathe for a little bit, I think, and mature.
Fine wine.
Yes, and develop. It's a song about hope. It's about reaching out. It's about, I guess, looking into yourself and saying, yeah, things haven't always been great, or I don't feel like I've ever had it together, but I'm really trying, and I think there's a real power in asking for help. It shouldn't be looked at as a weakness, because we've lost way too many people, some close to us, some that we don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's got to stop, I think.
Absolutely. And it's really good to, putting words and messages into a song are a fabulous way of sharing the message. I think it's a lot more prevalent than we realise. I think there's more people who have had an issue with being a bit depressed or down and need to rely on others. If you haven't, you're one of the lucky few, I think.
Absolutely. I know personally I have quite a few times, and I think because it's not a visual thing like a broken arm or a broken leg, people don't realise. And sometimes it's hard to explain as well. So having him pour his heart out on his sleeve, us connecting with it and just really trying to get the message across and feeling it. I was quite teary actually doing some of the takes.
I bet.
Yeah, it really resonated. Hopefully it'll resonate with everyone else.
One person listens to it and it gives them, a reason to talk to someone or to get up the next day. Your job is done, right?
Absolutely it is, for sure.
Yeah.
Still Rocking It podcast with that radio chick Cheryl Lee.
Let's hear that song now, Daisy's Song by the Rose Carleo Band, and then we're back to hear a little bit about the tour.
Feels like I'm sleepwalking, although I'm still awake. Can't stop my brain from talking. I just wanna break. I've never been normal. I don't know what it means. Why bother to strive at all? Or is it really me? Who am I? I've lost my way. I need to find myself every day. This journey is mine. I'm crying out for help. I'm ready to shine. Help me to find myself. Surrounded by those who love me, thankful but still depressed. Trying to shake some sense into me, but hey, I'm doing my best. Open my eyes to what it's cost. Still a chance to get back what I lost. This journey is mine. I'm crying out for help. I'm ready to shine. Help me to find myself. This journey is mine. I'm crying out for help. I'm ready to shine. Please help me to help myself. Who am I? I've lost my way. I need to find myself every day. This journey is mine. I'm crying out for help. I'm ready to shine. Help me to find myself. This journey is mine. I'm crying out for help. I'm ready to shine. Please help me to help myself.
Even the artwork, which I love, by the way, I love the artwork, that's got a little message in it of hope, hasn't it?
It does. So it's got the semicolon on the front of the daisy, our artwork guy, Glenn. The semicolon signifies like it's not the end. It might just be a blip in the road or a little speed hump, but it's not the end. It doesn't have to be the end. We thought we'd pop that in there and hopefully a few people might go, oh, what's that? Read that message.
I love it, and it's a beautiful picture
Thank you.
and a beautiful colour.
Blue's beautiful, and it is that colour, I think, for the song, and it really worked well.
Yeah, great choice. To get a copy of the single, should they go to the website or the usual places?
Usual platforms, your Spotify's, your Apple's, however you stream your music. We are looking at possibly putting out a physical copy of it, and it, of course, will be on the album that's forthcoming. So all the usual suspects, or you can go to, rosecarleoband.com.
When you say physical copy, do you mean vinyl?
Well, catch out the bag. Definitely for the album, we're going to look at doing some vinyl copies. Yeah, so I'm a little bit excited about that. So we'll do a run and see how that goes. I just remember my childhood, reading the covers and reading the stories and looking at the pictures. And I think it's something special to be said with going back to some vinyl.
Absolutely. Old school. These days, you should make it that beautiful blue.
That's what I was thinking.
That's a scoop. You heard it first here, everybody. Blue vinyl. Watch this space.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll make sure you're on the credits, Cheryl. Thanks.
Do I get paid?
We'll talk about that.
We'll get your people to speak to my people.
Something like that.
While we're talking scoops, that is the first single on an album, right?
Actually, we've released 2 others, but they were a little while back. However, they will be on the album. We released a version of AC/DC's Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, and we released a song called Line 'Em Up, a song about good times and let's line 'em up at the bar at the end of a gig. I guess technically it's the 3rd single, and there'll be a few more singles coming out.
So the rest of the album, correct me if I'm wrong, is a little bit rockier, and this is, like every album needs a good ballad.
This probably is, actually, no, there is one other ballad on there. And the rest of it is quite rocky and quite sort of riff-driven.
Yeah.
And a couple of the songs are a bit anthemic, actually, I would say as well.
We love a good anthem.
Yeah.
2 ballads are better than one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to that. And so, Rose, what I really love about the Rose Carleo Band is that you've got a kick-ass woman front person. Yeah.
Thank you. It's funny, when we started the band 8 or 9 years ago, I said to the boys, what would we call it? And Mick said, well, Rose Carleo Band. I'm like, yeah, but you guys are in it too. They're like, so? I'm like, okay. So now, if they don't do what they're told, I'm like, my name's on the poster, really. No, it's definitely everyone has a say in things, and yeah, definitely.
It's a democracy, is it?
It is.
You are listening to Still Rocking It, the podcast with Cheryl Lee.
Well, you don't have to convince me very hard to play a great Akadaka cover. And here it is, the Rose Carleo Band with Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. And then we're back to say goodbye to Rose. You've got a few dates coming up. Where can they find those? On the website as well?
Yeah, on the website or on our Facebook page, so rosecarleoband.com. We've got some New South Wales dates coming up. I'm working on some South Australian dates either at the end of the year or beginning of next year. Victoria and Perth, and then we're going to Japan in April.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a bit exciting.
But you're coming to Adelaide first.
Yes, I'm definitely making inquiries as we speak. You heard it here.
That's right. There's another scoop. You guys haven't played in Adelaide before, right?
No, I've been to Adelaide. I have not played in Adelaide. Bill and Shady might have, but Mick and I haven't, yeah.
I'll see you down the front, wherever it is.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So you should be.
Welcome you to our beautiful town. Now, who have you got with you in the band?
So myself, Mick Adkins on guitar, songwriting and producing and all that stuff he does. Mick O'Shea on drums. And we now have Bill Curvin on bass. So Steve King was with us for 8 years. He rejoined Rose Tattoo last year. And we've got Bill in now, who's played with Mick O'Shea in many outfits, including Dragon and Swanee, and it's really good. The show must go on, I guess, and, you know, I think it's great that King is back with the Tats. We're all still a family, you know, that's just the way it is.
The Tats are touring at the moment and bringing in, like, all their old members that have been in the past. But apparently I was interviewing Gary Angry the other day, and next year, 50 years, apparently that's it.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I wonder, will it be? I mean, there's no doubt, like you've said, you know, they deserve a rest as well. But will it be the end?
Probably not.
No.
You know, you can't keep a good rocker down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just guessing, of course, surmising, but who knows what will happen, and good on them.
I think he alluded to maybe no more big tours, but, you know, little gigs at pubs and, you know, right back to the grassroots of when, you know, they used to play to 10 people with the
Yeah, that would be great, except there'll be a lot more, but yeah, at the venues for sure. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Which one of your band members played with Swanee?
Mick O'Shea and Bill Curvin.
I was back in Adelaide a couple of weekends ago and played with Dave Gleeson from the Screaming Jets and Kevin Borish here. It was amazing.
That would have been incredible. I did see that advertised, actually, yeah.
One show only in the whole of Australia. We were very lucky.
That is very cool.
All the best with the album, with the tour.
Thanks, Cheryl.
For coming and spending a bit of time in the Zoom room with us, and we look forward to seeing you down the front. I'll be the blonde.
Thank you so much for your time as well. We really appreciate it.
Love your work.
You too. Thanks, Cheryl.
And I mean it. I'll see you in Adelaide.
Oh, good. I know. Otherwise, I'll hunt you down.
Still Rocking It podcast with that radio chick, Cheryl Lee.
Well, I'm going to leave you with their belter. Line 'em up. Rose Carleo Band. Love it.
Under the lights, it's 100 degrees. End of the night, I can hardly breathe. Shade is kicking, Side King is punch, and I'm screaming, guitars crunch. It's a countdown to the last song. I can't wait to get it on. The show is over.
You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. Thank you so much for joining me on the Still Rocking It podcast. Hope to catch you again next time. Get out when you can, support Aussie music, and I'll see you down the front.